we're building up to the kickoff of the season this weekend. I can't wait for it. It's the craziest Premier League season ever.
Oh, it's gone insane, actually. Yeah,
I mean, it's gone mad.
The
Game's gone. Game's gone. Like when you look at the, it's like a World Cup of managers. I think that's how Arsene Wenger described it, and I presume he's including himself in that. But like some of the names now, Antonio Conte's coming over, and people aren't even talking about Chelsea. Like this is a literally a genuine world class manager. He kind of proved that in the Euros. Italy just didn't have enough in the end, but nobody expected him to do as well as they did, regardless. And him coming into Chelsea is a very dangerous thing. People have just, again, they're forgotten about probably because of how incredibly bad they were last season.
Yeah.
But everyone's talking about United, Pogba, all this kind of stuff. Like Chelsea could be a dark horse, and then
Big time.
Obviously at City, then you've got Pep. It's absolutely mental stuff.
Well, like with Chelsea last year, I thought such a big part of it was Eden Hazard underperforming, and then you saw the way he finished last year, and then carried that form into the Euros. Chelsea are definitely in the discussion.
But they're too reliant on Costa, who may have been a flash in the pan player. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Like Costa could start the season barreling over lads again.
That's the thing. And they've signed Michy Batshuayi from Marseille, and it's a weird one because nobody knows, like, is he going to play? They've spent a lot of money on him.
Yeah.
But it seems that Costa's going to have that job at the start of the season, and it's his to lose. But Conte might play two up front. You don't know. Although
I suppose if they have that guy, it's at least when Costa hits his inevitable rough patch.
Yeah.
When he just tires himself out from beating up people for
Or
the
his
first month of the
3-game ban.
season. Or he gets a 3-game ban. Yeah, they have someone to come in that isn't like
you've
Remy.
got Pep Guardiola at City, and like I see that going one of two ways. One, he just transforms them into this footballing machine, playing beautiful football and sweeping teams off their feet. And the other one is he hits, like, it's going to be very, very difficult to just make players play like Barcelona straight away.
I think you'll have the typical new manager effect at City in that there'll be a real sort of burst and a period of enthusiasm, but ultimately that team is kind of spineless.
Yeah.
Lacks character.
Well, he's kept Yaya Toure. I can't believe Yaya Toure is still at that.
That's the most important thing. The end of last season, we kind of looked at the last month of that and said, this is the end of this City team. They're going to be completely rebuilt. And we kind of weren't thinking about how unrealistic it is to ditch 15 players and replace them. And they've been really quiet, haven't they?
Well, they've signed Gundogan, which I think is an absolutely brilliant signing. And John Stones.
Oh, I don't know about Gundogan.
Really?
Well, there's like players who are injured, like who have a back injury or a recurring back injury.
Yeah, he'll be Gundogan soon.
Awful.
Right, let's wrap up there.
Yeah, we could move on.
Thanks for listening.
But we'll definitely stop talking about City. United are United again. It seems, at least in terms of the arrogance is back, the swagger is back, the hatred from
amongst
other
the fans and manager.
Back. Yeah.
We haven't seen from the players yet. I mean, I thought they were really poor against Leicester, to be honest.
Yeah. For the most part, there was, as always, there's a couple of people that stood out and got them over the line. But it seems as that, like, you've got someone like, you're going last season, you're looking around, you're like, where are the leaders in the dressing room? Now you've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic walking in, you've got Paul Pogba walking in. I think that's going to have a really big effect on the rest of the players that are like, yeah, this is the type, like, it's not Marcos Rojo coming in from...
That's Zlatan signing. Like, when I initially heard about it, like, or heard rumours, say, back in March or whatever, I'm thinking he's 34, and in the hashtag physicality of the Premier League and quicker defenders, better quality defenders, he's going to struggle. He's going to be a 12 goals a season kind of guy, but ultimately he was probably signed as a personality in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Now, we'll come to like outrageous predictions later, but I think like the likes of Valencia, yeah, sure, but the likes of Valencia and United's wingers now actually have someone to aim for as well.
Exactly. It's funny you say everyone did bang on about the physicality of the Premier League being too much, and I was sitting there thinking, Zlatan Ibrahimovic physically can handle himself against anyone. Yeah. Like we saw it at the thing. He's absolutely dominating Robert Huth and Wes Morgan, who no one did in the league last year. Yeah. So if that's...
And he also always wins the league.
He does.
Like, that's a...
He never leaves the place out.
Last season was the first league campaign of his entire career where he scored more goals than his age.
Wow.
And he was 34, like.
Yeah, no...
but his goals have been going up all the way through his career, haven't they?
Yeah,
He's scored more goals
in trajectory.
It's
as because people are
40 goals this year. United win the league by 10 points.
There it is. We're done. Right. Yeah. Catch you next. Now, we are going to make...
Twice I've somehow ended the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to make our outlandish predictions for the season. This is something we've been doing on site as well. We've got an article up there about it, because it's fun to do this stuff and then look back on it later and realise how terrible you were. But with outlandish things, I suppose you can get away with that. My one's not... I've been told it's not outlandish enough.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I've been told, which is always... Like, I do struggle because I don't want to say something ridiculous, you know? I'm playing it safe, but it's still outlandish. I don't think it's going to happen. It's Sadio Mane to lead the league in combined goals and assists, and there is logic to it, so I can see why there's why it's not very outlandish.
I just like the point, like,
it's not outlandish. I said this in the post. It's not outlandish because I'm not a Liverpool fan. Like, if a Liverpool fan said that, you'd be like, yeah, that's what every Liverpool fan thinks is going to happen this year.
No, I mean, it is outlandish because you're not a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
In the sense that you can see it from the outside, whereas they'd expect it.
Yeah.
I know, like, his prediction last year as well, Mikey's, I found very outlandish at the time. I remember distinctly you were stuffing your face with popcorn trying to tell me, and I couldn't really make it out, but what I thought you said was Mike Smalling,
Yeah.
named in the PFA Team of the Year.
I said the Team of the Year, and then you said which one, and I said one of them.
Yeah, sure, yeah. And I was looking at him going like, that is daft, you know, because there was no real evidence.
No, this time last year, Chris Smalling was crap.
Chris Smalling, I was there. Mike Smalling.
Yeah, there was a whole thing. Louis Van Gaal called him Mike. It was funny at the time.
Like, it nearly came true that.
Yeah, very nearly.
So
that's why I was.
I'm
That's
a
where I
little
was
bit concerned about your prediction.
That's where I was going with Mane this time. I was like, something that could happen, but is ultimately ridiculous.
I went down the other route.
Yeah, the route you should traditionally.
I might have gone a little bit too far outlandish.
It was intriguing.
I don't 100% remember it.
Okay.
I think I said that in the January transfer window, Burnley would break the ever-increasing world record by signing Jermaine Defoe
for 221
million.
Oh.
The next day, Sunderland would break that record again by buying
someone from
Jermaine Defoe back.
No. Oh, that would have been better. Now buying like some flavour of the month from the Championship.
Okay.
And then we would all decide that enough is enough and the Premier League experiment has failed.
Yeah, let's go.
And we're just going to end the season. There's going to be no thing. And then in August 2017, we're going to start again with the Football League Division 1.
Yeah.
Preston North End are going to be favourites, but that's only because Blackburn Rovers are, you know, the bigger team. Blackburn Rovers are taking the more important competition, the FA Cup.
Okay.
That's their aim.
Interesting rules you introduced there as well to the Division 1, where you have to field 4 amateur players. You know, really
and there's a maximum wage. I mean, we're actually probably going to go too far. You see, that's the problem. We have, like, I mean, it's gone too far the other way now, and like, you know, Burnley are spending 220 million. It's ridiculous, but you know, we're probably going to overcompensate now. I think when we go back,
going down towards that route of like Hunger Games.
We'll find a happy spot in about 20 years. Okay. Sweet spot.
And Gavin,
my one was, I mean, compared to that, it's nothing. Even compared to yours, it's probably not that outlandish. But I think Antonio Valencia will register the most assists in the Premier League this season and be named in the Team of the Year and be the defender for the first time since 2009.
The trifecta. Wow. Yeah. I was saying, like, that's the assists is probably going to happen from Ibrahimovic alone.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because honestly, right, I hate watching Valencia play football. Since his injury, fairness, he used to be quite exciting, but
he went from Player of the Year at United to like the lion from the Wizard of Oz who had no heart. Is what he was, and he was like, you could see the self-doubt and it was just hard to watch.
But I have a theory about him, and the
lion had no courage, the Tin Man had no heart.
Yeah, cheers, sorry. And courage, that also applies to Antonio Valencia. Courage was the thing he was lacking more.
Okay.
I actually think that my thing is more likely to happen than yours.
Ooh. It possibly is, right? But I have a theory about why he was so bad for the last couple of years, and that's because he had nobody to aim for, firstly. That's standard, like, but Wayne Rooney kind of stopped heading the ball around the time that Valencia stopped trying to beat players. But imagine how disheartening it would be to get to the byline and to look up and you can't even put it in the mixer.
No.
So he has to fire the ball,
drill it
into defenders' shins and hope it ping-pongs into someone's path. But now he can do what he does best, which is just there. Float it. Not to anyone in particular, just tease it up there, you know? Like an alley-oop in football terms. And I think he's going to do that at least 10 times this season. Plus, he's going to start right back. I think Mourinho fancies him, you know?
I had a theory about why Valencia turned so crap, but it involved the aliens from Space Jam coming down and taking his talent back to Moron Mountain to play a super team.
Do you realise that Jack Attle from Balls made a very similar outrageous prediction? I mean, people can check it out in that post. I didn't read the post yet. Yeah, he had a similar theory about Leicester. Oh. A Space Jam theory.
Space Jam theory, yeah. Well, look, it's out there. They're out there. Yeah. We're not alone.
So lads,
quickly, top 4 predictions. Pick a title winner and 3 teams in any order to finish in the top 4. Gavin, I'm going to start with you.
Thanks.
A nice dummy fake there.
Just keep you on your toes here.
Yeah, hey, listen. I'm going to go with, champions, Manchester City.
Okay.
In second place, Chelsea. Third place, Arsenal.
Oof.
Fourth place, Manchester United.
Wow.
Spurs and Leicester don't figure.
Spurs
No.
and Leicester
No
don't figure.
Liverpool.
No Liverpool.
I have the same top 4. Chelsea to win the league, City, United, Arsenal.
Oh, okay. So that comes to me. I'm going to say at this moment in time,
This particular
at this particular moment in time, to quote Kenny Cunningham, I am going to go for City to win the league. Unfortunately, and then
Who do you support again?
Man City. No, I'm a United fan. I'll put that out there.
Newcastle.
Yeah. Galway, actually. No, I'm going to go for Man City to win the league, and then in any order, Spurs, Man United, and Liverpool. I think this is the year that Arsene Wenger gets
Holy God.
No Chelsea and no Arsenal.
No
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Always make the top 4.
I know. I think this is the year Arsene Wenger gets sacked. But this
But that
is
would
going to make for really good radio when we go back and look at this stuff at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, if you look at like if Spurs, continue, like we all kind of agree that Leicester, I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think they will, but they're not going to challenge.
No,
this year,
I think
right?
if Leicester can get top 7, then that's incredible.
I agree, right? So, but maybe take them out of it then. But you kind of add Spurs into it. You've got Liverpool coming with Klopp. You've got Chelsea, who did nothing last year, and you add them into and United obviously look like they should at least have. They've got Mourinho and new signings, so there should be at least some new life in them. It could be an amazing season.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody has to turn up. Like we could have said that
That's
this
the
time
thing.
last year.
Like when I was talking to John Hartson yesterday, there was a couple other pundits there, and everyone was giving top 4s, and all of them, like nobody wants to give a top 4 prediction this year because there's 8 teams that can realistically finish in the top 4 this year, and like West Ham are closing the gap as well. I think that stadium, it could be really big for them. I mean, in terms of them just thinking, oh, hang on, we're a massive club now.
Yeah.
Like, that stadium is nice. It looks really, really well.
I mean, the traditionalist in me
bringing
thinks
in
the stands are a bit too far away from the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is always a
It's
concern.
only one of them really. That's far
that's
away.
true.
But anyway.
Don't forget Arsenal struggled very on top of the players' stadium in Highbury.
Yeah.
Moved to the Emirates and were crap for a
Yeah,
year or
true.
two.
To consider, but I just think Spurs. I just don't see any reason why they wouldn't have the same sort of season they had last year.
But I think the point, like you can have the same season as you had last year, but relatively
What
speaking,
other
in terms
people
of
do.
points,
Yeah,
it
fair enough.
actually wasn't that amazing a season. Whereas this time you've got stronger. You'd imagine there would be a slight closing of the gap between, say, the top 8 and the bottom half.
Interesting stuff. So I mentioned there, I was at an event with for News Talk with a load of pundits, and John Hartson was one of them, and I had a really, really fun chat about Celtic and about Martin O'Neill and about his love of Ireland in the past. So I think we have that audio now, so enjoy that.